teenage years a lot harder than the little years. So the little years, it's very time consuming, very busy, go. There was that sweet spot between the ages of 6 and 12 where they want to be around you. But it's when they got into like that, grade 9 to 12 and then early uni, where there's all those outside influences now. Yeah. So that what you've instilled in them has sunk in for their moral values and their compass and whatnot. Wow. So yeah, I found teenage a lot harder mentally to navigate. They'll come up with questions just like, I don't know. They're really hard stuff. And I think it's okay to just be honest with your kids and go like, I don't know, let's work through this together. Okay.
Okay.
And because they're looking, as they age, they want to be treated with more maturity. What I learned along the way is that I had to nurture myself, because if I didn't do that, I had nothing left to give.
Hello everybody, welcome to episode 35 of the Dairy Mom podcast. My name is Diana Ade. I am the founder of the Dairy Mom. We inspire, educate and empower mothers who may be struggling to reclaim their dreams or who may have temporarily set aside their ambitions due to the demands of motherhood. On the Dairy Mom podcast, we bring you powerful stories from audacious mothers around the world who defy societal expectations and harness their strength to juggle both roles of motherhood and the pursuit of their personal and professional ambitions successfully. Before we begin today's conversation, I want to take a moment to say thank you. Thank you to all of our new subscribers, our new viewers, and to all who have been with us from the beginning. I appreciate you all very much. And if you are yet to subscribe to our channel, please do so by hitting the subscribe button. This helps our channel to grow. After a refreshing long break, we are excited to bring you another inspiring series on mom life, love, and business. What does it mean to be a mother and a full-time entrepreneur? What does it even mean to navigate the different phases of motherhood, all while experiencing an unexpected divorce and restarting a whole new family while managing a business? This can be quite challenging, but we are excited and honored to have a seasoned entrepreneur join us today in our conversation. Her name is Annemarie Gruden. Annemarie Gruden, an award-winning photographer, founder, and creator of Magnolia Sage Studio, offers brand photography for the modern entrepreneur who wants to show up authentically and feel like themselves online. With her talent and expertise in branding, she helps entrepreneurs strategically build their visual brand story through one-on-one personal brand photo sessions for all the visual tools she creates for her clients at Magnolia Sage Studio. Whether you work with Anmarie personally or grab her stock photos, you will walk away with visual content that feels like you, so you can care less about how you look online and go back to doing what you love. Her ultimate goal is to create images as bespoke as the entrepreneurs in them, so they can build a business and brand that inspires and thrives. She's also a mother and a wife. If you're ready for today's conversation, grab your pens and notebooks and join me as I speak to our special guest. Hello, Anmarie. Welcome to the Dairy Mom podcast. How are you doing today?
I'm amazing, and thank you so much for having me, Diana. I'm excited to share all of my bits of motherhood wisdom, solopreneur, mompreneur.
Yeah, thank you. So, as I read in your bio, like you are a big mompreneur. As the term goes, a mother and an entrepreneur. You have a big family. You're a mother of 5. You are a brand expert. You are the CEO of Anmarie Photography, Annemarie Gruden Photography. You're a design expert. You are everything when it comes to branding. You are, I would say, like the go-to person when it comes to that. And you help businesses do their branding and all that. So today we want to tap into your expertise you're also the creator of Magnolia Sage Studio, right? So yeah, so you have a lot on your plate. We want to get into how you managed to create all of these successful businesses, all while taking care of like a family, like, and a large one at that. And so let's dive right in. Typically when we start, we'd like to you like you to take us all the way back to when you were a kid. What was growing up like for you in terms of being a child and observing parenting? What was it like for you?
Honestly, I had a pretty happy, carefree childhood. I grew up in the middle of nowhere, BC. Southern interior, small town. I think it's still only about 10,000 people. And we were, I don't know, 4 hour drive to any major center. So what was local, that was it. That's all we got, unless it was a big adventure. And my dad spawned my love of nature and sports because, well, we lived on a hill and it was just wildlife in behind. But he was always responsible for taking us camping and canoeing and going out in the lakes and skiing in the winter. And yeah, and in terms of my observance of parenting, my observance of parenting when I was a kid was my parents worked. So I felt very free, and it was the 80s, and they just kind of, I don't know, they let us kind of go, and they trusted because we were in that small community.
Oh yeah.
And it was the community kind of almost raised us as well, right?
Okay.
And my grandmother, my mom's mom, she started out, we would get dropped off at her house when we were really little, and she would do the babysitting. And then when I was about 6 or 7, I think, my dad built a house right next door for my grandparents. And so it was my grandparents and my mom's youngest brother that lived right next. So like I was immersed in an extended family that helped raise us. So I don't want to say there was no parents, but it was that loving, nurturing, caring community that helped raise me.
Wow.
And it's those kinds of things. So like my grandmother was one of the key influences in my upbringing because she was the one I had tea with every afternoon after school.
Wow.
Or she would get us to like start the supper and do the this and do the that so the parents could come home and not have to worry about it. So she was instrumental in teaching me the flows of things that need to get done in a household.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. How would you say that that style of upbringing like shaped you as an adult or when you started having your own kids?
Well, I've always had a really strong sense of community because of that.
Okay.
So when I first had my kids, I was in cities and it was hard to find. So it can be lonely. And but when I moved to Ottawa, I think it was in 2000, my oldest was 6, 4, and 0 when I moved to Ottawa. So 3 kids under the age of 6, and I knew nobody. But we found this little townhome in the west end of Ottawa, the east end of Ottawa, and we had such a beautiful introduction to the city. Like everyone on my block became my friend, and they all had young kids, and so I was inadvertently given back that sense of community that I had been missing when I was in Calgary. So backtracking, I grew up in BC, studied in Alberta, got married and had my first child in Vancouver Island, and then I moved back to Calgary, was working commercially, and then from 90 to 2000, and then in 2000 I moved to Ottawa. So I've had a long career as a photographer because it's all I've ever really done. And it's been in the last, I'd say, 5 to 10 years, 8 years that I've kind of repicked up my design skills. They never got lost. It's just I've actually put them to use now.
Oh, I see.
And market them. Like I studied graphic design and photography at art college, so it's a pretty well-rounded it makes you do everything, and you pull from all your talents to create, basically.
Yeah.
And that's what I was taught in university, was to use what's around you to be creative. It doesn't have to be this, that, the other thing. It's the person behind all the tools that makes brings it to life.
Wow.
So,
Wow.
yeah.
Wow. I really love like the fact that you're bringing all of your expertise like to light, because now at some point you were a photographer, then now you decided to bring in the design, even though it went on hold for some time. Now you're bringing everything back in, and
well, and it just snuck in there too, because especially over like the last 4 years, I've had a number of brand clients that they know I do all my own marketing, websites, design, social media campaigns, all of that. So they're like, well, can't you just help me with this stuff? so then the project continues, and I love being part of it, because it's like I get to be part of creating the whole visual story suite. So right down to logos, brand kits, color palettes, because all of the elements talk to each other. So if I just do one little sliver of the piece, it might not look like a cohesive story at the end, because you're pulling in different creators and different designers, and unless all of those creators are talking to each other, they don't always get a unified design at the end of it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, I want to do this part, and I went here to do this part, and I went over here. It's like when you go shopping, like clothing shopping, and you go to one store and you found the most beautiful pants, and then you went over here and you found a top, and then you went over there and you found a jacket, and you put it together, and it doesn't really
it doesn't, yeah.
It's the same thing when it comes to branding and design, and unless your creatives are talking to each other or in on the same loop and have the same agenda, like they're going to put their own stamp on it, and it may or may not have a cohesive look and feel to it.
Yeah. Wow.
So I feel really honored when people task me with the whole story, creating the whole visual story, because I also go deep into their personalities, who they're serving, how they want to interact with their clients, how their clients want to perceive them, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Wow. I really like that, because sometimes when you're starting like a business, when it comes to branding in general, and if you are not that kind of a person with that eye to see, what to put here, it becomes a bit difficult to really put the pieces together. But it's refreshing to know that you are more like the one-stop shop when it comes to
I'll be the first to admit to anybody, it's like, no, that's out of my wheelhouse. You need to go over here, and I have people in that department that can help you, that will align the vision and the story to make it all happen.
Right.
But yeah, I like to be the one all in one stop, but every project's slightly different. So.
Exactly. I want to come into motherhood before we jump into branding, because we'll definitely come to branding, so that you can share more insight with us. But you mentioned at some point that you had 3 kids at some point, and then you had to move to Ottawa and all that. Sometimes when you're navigating, like traveling with kids or moving from one place to the other, to the other with kids, it can be quite challenging. And I know you mentioned that you had to start the whole like creating the sense of community around you and bringing people in. Like how did you do it, that piece?
I don't know. There was a lot of messy bits in there, and honestly, it comes down to believing in yourself and finding a community that's there to help support you. Otherwise, it becomes really lonely, and when I first moved to Ottawa, that was my messy middle where I separated from my ex-husband and whatnot. And I honestly, when we first came out here, I thought he was joining me, but then he showed up and he wasn't. So yeah, navigating moving is one thing, but navigating moving in a divorce is another.
Yeah.
So it got really messy, but it was community and family that kind of helped me stay true to who I was and supported me in finding my career so that I didn't have to, just go take that $15 an hour job. And I yeah.
Yeah.
So my mother was like, if you don't do this, you're going to regret it for the rest of your life.
Right.
So, and I was worried about, I remember having breakdown moments that it's like, how am I going to do this?
Yeah.
Because you already are doing it. He wasn't helping you in it anyway. So now you've just kind of gotten rid of the strife, and you can organize your kids. You can get, the daycare and the friends and the support that you need. And there was a lot of, even in Ottawa, there was a lot of assistance that was great. Like daycare, the whole kit and caboodle. Ottawa was a really supportive city. And a beautiful place to raise the kids too.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. We have so many museums and so many places for kids and so many outdoor things, and a lot that's free.
Yes.
That's another factor. When you got your kids, you can't always afford that $100-$200 price ticket to go take them to entertain them for the afternoon. And do you want to entertain them in a somewhat educational, arts, music, that kind of background? But yeah, there was actually a huge amount of stuff that I got them into.
Wow. So, Annemarie, you mentioned when I was listening to your conversation, you mentioned something about moving to Ottawa with 3 kids, 6, 4, and 0. So practically, you had a baby when you had moved, and it kind of literally came to you as a surprise when your ex-husband did not join you. So how did you navigate that period of having 3 kids and practically a baby, and being finding yourself as a single mom, and then your mother also trying to tell you don't go down a certain path in terms of career? How did you navigate all of that, and how did you pick yourself up?
Honestly, I knew who I was as a creator. I mean, I was pretty broken at that point in time, but it was through my friendships and my family that they really gave me the strength and encouragement to be who I am. They recognized my talents, and it wasn't, and it was all of that, the community encouragements, slow little gentle nudges, taking on a few projects of my own, just getting the initial ball rolling again. And I actually took a tiny job at a local shop, like a camera shop, and I met a bunch of other professionals. But I kind of can't. It was fun because I got to come to Ottawa and I had a clean slate, so I really got to steer how I wanted to have my career unfold or how I wanted to build it, but it was definitely on the heels. I leaned on my community for support, mentally, physically, just logistically. If you gotta go shoot a job, who's gonna pick your kids?
I know.
That piece. So you do sort of bartering systems with other people. It's okay, I'll watch your kids today if you watch mine tomorrow.
Oh, I see. Wow.
So there's little things, and because photography is not one of those things that's a 9-to-5 job, it's a very all over the map. So you right from the get-go, I've had to be really good at scheduling and organizing, and but it's the same with parenting. Your kids get into this and that and the other thing, so you just get really really good at at scheduling and coordinating and what can overlap. And I got a 10-minute window here. And
yeah,
I still remember the day that they were all in school for 6 hours. Because that gave me the time to get a chunk of work done, right?
Yeah.
So that was always like the young years when they were in need of a lot of assistance. Like, you're cooking, clothing, cleaning, laundry, all of that. So it's a little bit more juggly. And then that was about the time that I met my current husband, and he had 2 kids. I had 3, so we had a blended family of 5. So we were a bit of a Brady Bunch for a while. But with the massive numbers also came extra hands, and we never let them not participate. So my husband and I, everyone was part of the family. Everyone had their role to play. Okay. So, and I think that was really important just for our own sanity, because I couldn't cook and clean for 7 as well as run a career. But also, you're not giving your kids the life skills they need to go and do it on their own. Yeah. And I think I drew on my own childhood for that, right? Because I was very much part of that cycle when I was growing up. Yeah. So, as you aged, you got given more responsibilities and chores and expectations. And so I kind of did the same when it was my kids. Well, all 5 kids, because they're little human beings, and they love to be involved, and they love responsibility, and they want to have their own bits of self-worth. And so it's so we never we never gave them everything on a silver spoon.
Wow. I like how you tied self-worth to have given them responsibility, because like when sometimes you just feel like, okay, kids, maybe like but like just like how as adults we feel when we see that we are doing something that gives us meaning and gives us purpose. That self-worth bit is there. So I'm really glad you touched on that as relates to giving kids some kind of chores as a responsibility that they have to do. Wow, that's so beautiful.
Yeah, and then there was consequences if you kind of didn't get it. Well, you didn't get your allowance, you didn't get to go to your friends. Like you had to, and there were consequences that fit the like what they did or did not do as well, right? Okay. And it was stuff that would be affect them, like not like it's like, oh, what do you mean I don't get to go? You know what I mean? Like it was like you don't always just get to play.
Yeah.
So, but it gives them a sense of self-worth too, and pride when you've done a job well, and you congratulate them, and just like if they've done something wrong, I always used to criticize the behavior, not them, because you don't want to stomp on their self-worth. Yeah. They are beautiful children, but that was really naughty what you just did. So it was the thing that was naughty, not them. You're not a naughty child, right? So yeah.
That's beautiful. What you said it's so critical to parenting, because if we don't take care, we'll end up chastising them and making them feel bad, but it's actually the thing that they have done. So it's about learning how to separate the two and making them realize it's what they did that is not right, not that they themselves are bad. Wow, this is so beautiful.
I found teenage years a lot harder than the little years. So the little years, it's very time consuming, very busy, go. There was that sweet spot between the ages of 6 and 12 where they want to be around you, but it's when they got into like that, grade 9 to 12 and then early uni, where there's all those outside influences now. Yeah. So that what you've instilled in them has sunk in for their moral values and their compass and whatnot. Wow. So yeah, I found teenage a lot harder mentally to navigate, because they'll come up with questions just like, I don't know, like they're really hard stuff. okay to just be honest with your kids and go like, I don't know, let's work through this together.
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
And because they're looking, as they age, they want to be treated with more maturity. Right? They don't want to always be that 6-year-old.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes they do, but so you gotta judge your child. You know, it's like encourage them, because they will. You know, they want to leave home. You want to give them the skill set so that they'll be a strong, independent, self-sufficient, kind, caring human being. You know, and we're here to support them on that journey.
Yeah.
And as mine are all aging now, I'm realizing that the window, it seems chaotic when they're little. Like, I know you do as well, because you've got a little one.
I have a little one.
Yeah, it seems chaotic, but it goes by so fast. Like, so fast. Like, I look at it like, yeah.
Wow.
Because I've been empty nested now for at least 5 years. Like, just around COVID, we empty nested.
Wow.
And that in itself was weird, but then throwing COVID in there was even weirder.
Yeah.
You can't.
Yeah.
So.
Wow. Well, thank you so much for sharing that piece. I feel it is very important for us parents to know. Like, I just like how you put everything like into that perfect picture between 0 to 6, you know, is that kind of juggly world, and then 6 to 12 they kind of want to be around you, so sweet spot kind of thing, and then before you realize, boom, they are like, you know, with their friends, and their friends are all the external influences are coming in, and it's the values you instilled in them when they were like maybe like less than age 12. That's when everything comes, you know, to play. Wow.
Yeah, and they say that, you know, that they've learned all the tools they need by the time they're 7 years old. So you hope that you instill those morals and values in the compass
as early as possible.
In that time frame, and it's totally possible, you know. And or do we stilt them? And I don't know. I don't think there's any magic answers. I don't think we ever stop learning, because society also dictates how we do stuff, right? Like their society's an influence on how we raise our kids.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like community really, really helped me with mine, and it made me also not feel so alone. So I know when they were really little, and I photographed weddings and families for years, and I had a group of other women that were photographers that were my support network in the business realm, because we were all doing the same thing.
Yeah.
So we could go, how did you handle that? How did you handle this? You know, so that was vital too. So not just having my mom groups, but also my solopreneur groups that helped me navigate business and life and situations, and having people to talk to is really key.
Yeah. Wow. So it's, when it comes to networking, you know, whether as a single parent or even like as a mom in general, it goes beyond just finding other mom groups. Sometimes you also have to find the people you work with. How are they doing it, you know, because you're all in this together. Because really life is like both career and family. So you kind of want to find out how this person is doing this and how that person is doing that. Wow. Thank you, Anmarie.
So really it's finding those, and sometimes it's as simple as, you know, you've gone to a networking event, or you go to play groups, or, you know, just having conversations with, like, getting over your shyness. Because what's the worst they can do to you, right? What's the worst that they can do to you? You know, say, no, I'm not interested, and walk away. But most people, we're Canadians, we're polite, right?
Yeah.
And you talk to people, and you'll find people that you connect with. Yeah. And once that connection's made, like, you feel comfortable talking, you feel comfortable sharing your story, you feel comfortable asking questions, then you can build on those relationships. And I know I had to go outside of my neighborhood when my kids were when we merged into that group of 5, right?
Yeah.
Because by then they were all in school and my career was flourishing and et cetera, et cetera. So I think at that point I needed more me. Like that was another really important boundary that I learned along the way, is that I had to nurture myself, because if I didn't do that, I had nothing left to give.
Wow, what an inspiring conversation. I picked up 2 key lessons from Anmarie's story: the power of leaning into your community and the importance of self-care as a mother. You cannot do without these two. Thank you so much for joining us today. This brings us to the end of part 1 of this series. In our next episode, episode 36, we'll bring you a part 2 of Anmarie's conversation. Be sure not to miss it. We want to thank you for joining us today. If you want to follow Anmarie, you can visit her website at anmariegruden.com. You can also find her on social media platforms such as LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram at Annemarie Gruden. You'll find the links to her pages in the description of this video. If you want to follow The Diary Mom, you can find us on LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook at The Diary Mom. On Instagram, you find us at @the Diary Mom. You can also visit our website at thediarymom.com, where you can find our blog and read more stories. Thank you so much for joining us today. And as I wrap up, my question to you is, what is your hashtag, The Diary Mom story? Join me and let's do this together. My name is Diana Adair, and I am The Diary Mom.